Welcome back to the age of cathedrals. Chartres was known as an intellectual center, and it was the rival of Paris from the end of the 10th century, when Fulbert came to Chartres from the cathedral school of Reims. Chartres was the entry point of Platonism in Western Europe, and in particular, the study of Plato's account of the creation of the world, the Timaeus, just as Paris was a center for the study of Aristotelianism and dialectics, as we saw with Abelard. Fulbert was bishop of Chartres and taught at the cathedral school from 990 to his death in 1028. He taught medicine and introduced the astrolabe into medieval Europe. The cathedral that Fulbert built burned in 1134, which was when the cathedral that burned in 1194 was constructed, in part through what was known as the Campaign of Chartres, which is the topic of Jean le Marchand's miracle number 17, as well as of a chronicle account by Robert de Torigny, abbot of Mont Saint-Michel. In this same year, primarily at Chartres, men began with their own shoulders to drag the wagons loaded with stone, wood, grain, and other material to the workshop of the church, whose towers were then rising. Anyone who's not witnessed this will not see the like in our time, not only there, but also in nearly the whole of France and Normandy, and in many other places. One saw everywhere humility and afflictio, afflictio being the reading of penitential psalms while people lay prostrate on the ground. Everywhere we see penance and the forgiveness of offenses, everywhere mourning and contrition. One might observe women as well as men dragging wagons through deep swamps on their knees, beating themselves with whips, numerous wonders occurring everywhere, canticles and hymns being offered to God. King Philip Auguste visited Chartres in 1210 and provided funds for the North Portal. Philip's son, Louis VIII, and his son, Louis IX, Saint Louis, both contributed to the building of Chartres, as did Saint Louis's mother, Blanche of Castile, who donated the north rose window and the lancets. The money to build Chartres also came from the townspeople, who benefited financially from such an immense construction site and who worshipped there. Local merchants donated 43 stained glass windows. Their signatures appear in more than 100 scenes depicting the everyday economic activity of the city. In the lower quadrants of the windows on all sides of the cathedral, we see the trades of a bustling urban economy, men who devoted part of their profits, as we saw in Jean le Marchand's miracle of the rebuilding of the cathedral, to carvings and windows. And this beginning with the cathedral builders themselves. Here we see the master builder with his measuring rod, seeming to direct two men working at a table, one with a rolled up scroll, and the other handling a compass with a sheet of paper drooping over the edge of the table, which shows the clear plan of a cathedral choir. And here we see a window showing the building masons laying courses of stone, while another window displays the sculpting masons, here carving out an actual statue that will be placed on the south portal, and on the left they rough out the inchoate stone, while on the right they work out the details of the sculpture. Along with the masons, a carpenter at the bottom of the Noah window can be seen sharpening his axe blades, while his colleague builds a barrel. In the center quadrifoil, carpenters shape planks with an adze, while a saw hangs on the wall, and in the far left losange, carpenters can be seen fitting the beams of the forest or the roof structure of a cathedral, which is clearly placed above the masonry with its windows. As for the urban trades, we encounter the butchers, who contributed somewhat mysteriously to the miracles window. Here we see bakers, on the left making dough, and on the right kneading it and hanging it to dry. In the middle, they exchange baked loaves of bread and rolls for money. Here we see armorers working in the right image, fashioning a sword on an anvil, and on the left fitting a shield. And here shoemakers work in the right corner on cutting leather, in the middle on making shoes on a last, and in the left corner on selling shoes to a seated customer. Here is a scene of money changers weighing gold on a scale. Here, a furrier showing his pelts to an interested customer, while his assistant, possibly an apprentice, stacks their wares on a table. Similarly, a clothier shows his wares to a customer at the bottom of the Charlemagne window. And here, a water seller gathers water from a stream in the middle triangular image and distributes it on the quadrants on either side. Most of Chartres Cathedral was finished by 1223, though the north transept was still unfinished in 1230. Because of this relatively short span of time, Chartres is more unified aesthetically than many other cathedrals, which developed over periods of hundreds of years. The original plan for Chartres called for 9 steeples, a project which was abandoned in the 1260s. Chartres is interesting for us because of all the cathedrals we have studied thus far. It was the least damaged in the Revolution, though the famous statue of the Black Virgin, of which we spoke last time, Our Lady of the Crypt, was burned in front of the royal portal on December 20th, 1793, when Chartres Cathedral was rededicated as a temple of reason.